righty, everyone. Welcome to the Trader's Crib on this lovely, beautiful Friday, January 5th of 2024. Happy New Year to everyone that I haven't been able to say Happy New Year to. Welcome. And I am excited for today as we have had a nice little impulsive run overnight with a nice little impulsive run this morning. But we'll get into why the market is doing all of that in just a second. But first and foremost, what we like to do here in the Trader's Crib is we like to start with mindset. This market can be an emotional roller coaster for us. So we like to take a second, get our minds right, resonate with something deeper, and then we'll move forward into assessing the fundamentals of what news came out, what data reports that we now have to look at, and then we'll proceed from there with live day trading. With today's session, what I will do is between like each outside of the mindset, I will allow more time for questions. So if anybody has questions or comments or want to dig deeper into anything I just said before moving on, I will want to allow you all to do that. So you can either put questions in the chat. You can also just drop them in the chat as I'm going. I'll keep an eye on it. If you want to just jump on mic, just raise your hand and I can stop what I am saying and you can jump on mic and share whatever thoughts you have or questions. All right. Okay. So let's mindset. I start with mindset with the Daily Laws book by Robert Greene. I just think he helps you get in touch with a deeper sense of self. And if you have this book, you can flip to January 5th because it is segmented by days throughout the year. And today we are talking about know what you're drawn to and immerse yourself in it. This is perfect because this is exactly why the Trader Cribs exists. For me, as the host, Randy Michelle, I was drawn to this and I immersed myself in it and I do nothing but trade all day. I love it. I just love it. So the Daily Law states, what's something you've always felt a pull towards? Dive deep into it today. So if you're a crazy trader like me, then you're here with me today. Yay! Because trading is just one of those things that just, it makes you check your mindset. But if there's any other passions that you love, then further dive into it. It's Friday. It's a perfect time to get off work and dive into a passion that you may have not um, explored in a while. So I challenge you to do that, or even challenge yourself in your trading today and push yourself further and deeper into the rabbit hole of trading, because that's always fun and exciting. At least for me, y'all see the geek out face I have for those who know me. Right, nerding out today also because I made money this morning. That's another reason why. But we're all good. All right. So moving on to fundamentals, let's take a look. As you guys can see my chart, we have some downward movement overnight. Looking at the S&P 500 futures this morning, we came all the way down to the fair value gap and bounced back up. Why? Well, let's take a look. Let's look at what data came out. So first and foremost, we like to look at Forex Factory. In Forex Factory today at 8:30, we had 3 red folders come out. We had the average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and the unemployment rate all come out this morning at 8:30. They came out a lot better than we expected. The unemployment rate came down just a smidge, and that's all in our favor. The non-farm employment change went up, which means that more people are employed, which is great in general. And the average hourly earnings, slightly a little higher. So we're all looking good. Now, the last folder that we have is at 10 a.m. this morning, ISM Services PMI. We are expecting that data to come in around 52.5. We'll see what it actually comes out as. Though this week, our data, if we take just a look back at the week and understand how we got here today, we started off the New Year's with some downward pull because we reached some highs, and all of this news, these other red folders came out between Wednesday and Thursday. And these red folders came out with kind of like stagnant good news. Okay. Wednesday was like flat, Thursday was like good. And then you're like, well, why is the market going down if we're getting good news? Because the chart needs to get more liquidity before we can go back up? Like that's the answer. Okay. So moving on to CNBC to take a further look into the news, we have our headline banner this morning that we like to check. And it states that our Dow futures is down, our S&P 500 futures is down, and our NASDAQ futures is down a bit. Oil and U.S. 10-year Treasury is a little bit up. And so Dow futures falls more than 150 points after hot jobs report spikes rate higher. So we're going to see how the data overall plays out for today. But yes, we are moving in a downward pull right now. U.S. payroll increased by 216,000 in December, much better than expected, which we all noticed. And CNBC is headlining that news for us this morning. Moving over to Benzinga, another news source that I recommend to just kind of get the headlines of what's going on in the market and give you some information as to why the chart looks like the way it does. CNBC and Benzinga are my top two. So Benzinga, we see that December jobs report topples expectations, robust payroll, wage growth jeopardized Fed's March interest rate cut. So we all want the Fed Reserve to cut interest rates. We all saw earlier this week how the data came out to say, okay, they did say they were going to cut interest rates, but it may not look the way that we thought it was going to look. It may be like a slow, steady pull, no more than like 25 basis points at a time, like 0.25 percentage points at a time. It's just going to come down slowly. It's going to take over the course of 3 years. Like all of this made us feel like, all right, Feds, like kind of side you, like what you really trying to tell us. Like, I don't know if I could trust you, but we all know we couldn't. So anyway, that's what we're looking at. These news headlines align. So we like to see that. And then if we take a peek at the Fear and Greed Index this morning, we are still slightly in the greed here. We were in extreme greed before we came into the new year, and we have dipped down a little bit into the greed because I still think that we are going to move up overall, but it's just going to take us some time. So going over to the chart, wait, before I do that, any questions regarding news, any other news that want to be brought into this conversation? Because we have time this morning. Just want to cover that so I can go pull the news back up if anyone needs me to. But I just want to check in with everyone and ensure that we are all on the same page as far as like what's taking place so far, major news that affects the market, and for us in particular, the futures market and the S&P, because that's the tickers we like to trade the most. So anything? And you can take time and type your question if you are in a situation where you cannot talk. Go ahead and type your questions. I'll give time. I will start explaining the chart, but I'll keep an eye on the chat. So when I see it, I will answer you. Okay. All right. So I am on the 2-hour S&P 500 mini futures. I'm on the continuous chart because the ESH contract has too many holes in it since we were at the top. When the contract switched over. So this was yesterday. Yesterday we stalled all day, painfully stalled. Most of us knew we would break down. So we bought puts or we shorted a position. We all should have woke up to great profit this morning. Shout out to Jacinia because last night we were on the phone and I caught her and she was like, oh, I think I missed the trade. I was like, no, you didn't get in right now. And she came in overnight, as you guys know who are in Telegram, and she did lovely. I love it. I love it when we make money overnight. I know y'all love it too. So we came right through this 2 hour. Hopefully you guys took profit. Now, as we were playing around in this area, I do believe we'll continue down. The news that just came out, I believe, let's go to the daily, which is why I believe the price will still come down. So we went through this large daily fair value gap, okay? Like all the way down to the bottom, but we didn't close it with a body. We also have a small little gap, then another fair value gap down here at the bottom. All right. This other second fair value gap starts at 46.97 on my chart and closes at 46.79. Okay. So then below this fair value gap, we have the larger order block, which is the consolidation of candles and a breakout. So that's an order block. Now, I believe when I see a very strong M pattern like this, and it's already come down and broken past its neckline of M, right? Regardless what it's doing here, tomfoolery and wicks, I believe that the mission is to continue down these momentum breakout candles to the order block. Okay, now could we potentially stop? The reason why I'm not feeling as likely and I'm thinking we could come all the way down, I'll see how it can chop in here, it could do a lot of different candles, but I still think it's going to come down, is because the support's down here. Like this is not really support. It's just not. Yes, there's a gap there. Okay. There's a little gap there, but it's not really like a floor that you can stand on. And if you think of it from a physical standpoint, right, your order blocks are going to be what you can stand on. So I just feel like it can come down a bit more. Now, my first take profit target, if I were swinging it, would be to the close of this fair value gap at 46.80 area. Because this rejection wick on this candle from the order block is gonna makes me believe we may have a bounce, and I'd rather take profit there first. And then if we don't bounce, I could scalp in, or if we do bounce, I can get back in higher up and then finish down. Anybody have any other plans or objections? I object, Randy. I do not think the price is gonna do that.
I'm sorry, I'm over here trying to schedule appointments, doctor's appointment for my dad. You're thinking that it's going to continue down. You don't think it finished,
No, I don't.
what you're saying. Okay. All right. All right. Just
Now,
wanted to
just
see.
asking if anybody else has an objection.
I don't
That's
have an
how
objection. Can you say why though? Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat why?
why anybody would. I mean, if you
Yeah,
believe that
why you think it's going to continue down
because of order block is down here,
the order
and
block?
price just naturally likes to go block to block. Period.
You
Forget
think
the
downward,
news, forget anything else. Price go block to block.
right? It's gonna trade the way it's gonna trade. Do you think it will continue down today?
Uh, Potentially, yeah. I'm
Okay.
not really. I don't. So if you're saying do it could like I could see it running back up to like if it wanted to clear this order block right here. I mean, this fair value gap, excuse me. But this is an order block too. So it would have to like push above this order block when we have more liquidity down here as well to push below that one. So we're stuck between two. And I think since we just left these, we would potentially come down more. Um, like this pullback, we came down so far overnight, right? So essentially we have to you know, run back up and fill the gap before the bell ring. Y'all know how to do in the morning. Well, most of y'all do. So what Price likes to do is if it runs down a lot overnight, we usually get a hard bounce just like this before the bell rings back up. It doesn't matter which way it's going. Either way it's going, it's gonna do that. If it's too much of a move overnight, it's gonna bounce before 9 o'clock, before 9:30, I should say, and then we'll bounce up to try to pick up any liquidity that was left from overnight. And then we could continue up. It just depends on the chart. So if the chart has the liquidity there and the room to like run up and reverse it, then that's what it would do. But in this case, we have the small order block. I see it's a fair, I mean, this is a small order block into the fair value gap. What we could do here, let me zoom in big. Because I know we got some older eyes than me on this call, and my eyes are bad. So order block, fair value gap, right? The shaded block, fair value gap, and then larger order block. So what we could do here is we could potentially run through both of these, strike through, and then turn around. I would need a signal to let me know where it's a reversal. I'm not convinced at this moment that price is trying to go up in that aggressive of a way. I think these two fair value gaps and order blocks can hold price down and then further put pressure on this 2 hour order block over here on the left, formed between December 12th and December 13th. Okay. And I think we could get more pressure put here. But we hit it, we striked it. Volatile day. That's all I have to kind of say because I know we have a volatile day. I don't know how I raise my own hand when I do this. It drives me nuts when I do that. It really does. Okay, there we go. All right. Any other questions, suggestions so far based on that, like analysis and what we're looking at here? This is the daily gap close from that small little gap, that purple line. This is how it looks on 2 hour. And then that second fair value gap close is going to be down here into this like right before that dip of the tweezer bottoms, right? So I think it lines up beautifully. You can always come in and take shorter take profits once it like it's in here. If you feel like it's not going to come all the way down here and cut yourself short in these fair value gaps as target levels, just be careful because it's downward. And we did have some good news, but we also know that Feds, we want them to cut these interest rates. So if consumer spending, they want consumer spending to come down a little bit. That's why they were hiking the damn interest rates to begin with. So we got a lot of people with jobs and spending money. It's like they may just stay neutral or may not cut just yet because everybody is, chilling and everybody's still spending too much on credit cards and all that stuff. Because I know that was a report that didn't like that came out last year. So we're gonna see how it all plays out. All right. Cool, cool, cool. We just have to wait because that was the run. So now I'm just waiting for it to stop to figure out, okay, what do we want to do? And again, if you think about it, Tandra, this is technically could be still seen as like your handle forming, right? Because it could do a few different little moves and then break out. But I've been faked out before on an M like this. I ain't gonna lie. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just
Yeah, but
staying
it did not.
fast.
It didn't form a what I considered in my opinion, an efficient handle. But it
No,
still
it's
continued to
not.
go down. It was not. That handle was not formed well at
No,
all.
it's not. It's not. It's
Yeah,
not. But we know we can have multiple days of
yeah, of it forming. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So we'll see how it turns out. Let's keep an eye on it. Outside of that, let me see. Other tickers. So if there's any other tickers, I know we only have like 5 minutes before the bell ring, but it doesn't matter. Because everything is really pressing down Apple, Adobe. They may do some bounces today, but they fell pretty nicely. The YM and the Dow, let's take a look here and see how they're doing. So we got the Dow looking like this, and this is the Dow futures, by the way. Okay. And the Dow hasn't broken the bottom here. So this is not really can be seen as like a true reversal from the Dow perspective yet. We needed to come down and break this green line that I have at 37,481. Somewhere in this area, it needs to like break. Not saying it couldn't chop, not saying you can't do the descending and it's coming down. Not saying that's not doing that either. Just saying that the break will help you confirm a better reversal. And then the NASDAQ has just been falling since Apple was downgraded, I feel like. September. And to me, nothing seems like it's going to stop it until it gets to the order block. Now, it's pretty much right there. But we know the clear order block is going to come through this candle right here. This candle I'm pointing to was created on December 7th. This candle right here is going to come right down to the bottom of it. And that is where you can either take profit here, staking the candle before, or you could take profit at the bottom of that December 7th candle. So you're either taking profit at the top of December 6th candle or the bottom of December 7th, depending on your how comfortable you are. And that will be, for those of you who like to trade the NASDAQ, futures could be a nice little trade scalp if it's going to continue down because it looks like it wants the order block. Now we know when it touches the top of the order block, it's going to bounce up and then it comes back for it. So be prepared for that, which is kind of what's happening here. It's kind of the same thing that's happening with ES, but we're not down there yet. But it's that first, as you're coming to that neckline, you can come through it, but then bounce a little bit and then figure out if you're going to continue. It's that same kind of mentality. This is just a crazy week today. So, hey, which is why I think it could just keep coming down with the day, but it's Friday. So who knows, may just want to do something different. As I look forward to next week before the bell rings, let me bring Forex Factory back up to see what's coming because it is Friday and how to reposition yourself for the weekend. So looking into next week, all right, we only have 2 red folders. It's going to be a light week next week. And we only have Thursday and Friday. So core CPI data and core PPI data. Depending on what it does, it could be eventful or it could be not. It can be very like 50-50 with the core CPI data. Some of us I think some days we just look at it and go, okay. If any day would probably be a hot day, it'd probably be the Thursday. But price can definitely move beforehand if the liquidity's there. There's been plenty of times that has not been a red folder and prices move quite a bit more than I thought it would move with the red folder. So just pay attention to Monday and Tuesday. Y'all know how Tuesday can do some stuff to set up for this information to be just like, oh, we don't know what they're going to do now. So just pay attention. We'll see how today closes and we'll take it one day at a time. That's all we do as day traders, one day at a time. Right? And then we know, as I'm scrolling to the end of the month here in Forex Factory, that all of these red folders are leading up to the Federal Reserve funds rate announcement on January 31st. So just to let you guys know that, all eyes on January 31st. Okay? All right. Pump it up. Take out that fair value gap. So if anybody wants to scalp this fair value gap, you can. Since it's coming back up here with a vengeance, I think it may actually take it. There's $10 about ish in there. You can get $10 if you take it now. Just scalp that up and then see what happens. It's a lot of run up and run down this morning, a lot of movement. All right, and if I look at SPY, we should be somewhere right back where we were yesterday. Yep. Those of you who were on SPY earlier this morning, pre-market, y'all saw it floating way down here, and now it's floating back up. And if you had your extended day on, which I rarely put on, you can see where it did the move. And coming back up to fill the gap. And then from there, we'll see. We'll just wait and see. And push a button when you're ready to push a button. Oh, man. All right, y'all. Bell has rung. Now look at SPY. Let me take the extended day off. And there it is. It looks like that. If I did a side-by-side view, that's XPX. I do not want to connect my paper trading on this right now. So there's the SPX. Look at the daily SPY and SPX will be very similar. And then here's the 2-hour ES. To get an idea of what's happening. You're like, why is it going? You got this gap. Panda style. Gap. Gap it closed. But on the 2-hour, that gap is not there and the same. So you would need to mark it and see how it's going to do like that. And then you have your slide down, Geronimo. I'm like, jump and just dive down. Whee! So that's the side by side view. All right. Now I want to give it a couple minutes. Let's give it a couple minutes and then I'll look at what else, what the other tickers around the house are doing. Unless somebody's in it right now, you got to give me a ticker though, because I know what I'm trading. Ooh, look at Nvidia go. Wow, look at Nvidia go. Now, why would Nvidia stop? That's Come on, Nvidia gonna go all the way. Nope. Okay, so this is the daily. I saw a headline. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but I did see a headline that Nvidia was one to trade today. It is one to trade. So if you day trade it from the 2 hour, I would just get in right now and I would just ride it all the way up to the top of this. Into 492. And if you don't get there because it's 15 minutes on some, nope, 15, yeah, no, that's just an easy.
I went long on MES.
You went long on MES? Okay.
Yeah,
So
to
where?
take the fair value gap.
Okay, cool. Sounds like a plan.
Are you still short or did you get out?
I got out.
Okay, good. How many handles did you get?
A lot.
Yes, because you were in for a long time. Yes.
Yeah. Yep, 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 yep. But I still think price is falling, so just I don't know if it has the strength to like really come up. You know what I'm saying? And then we got 10 o'clock news too. So we just kind of hanging out till 10 and seeing what little Friday rally we can get before noon. Because I like to be now on Fridays, I like to be out by noon. I usually stay away from the afternoon market on a Friday. I feel like there's usually a lot of pullback or exhaustion by the afternoon on Fridays. So I just try to make my money by noon and be out. And
Well, I
then
can tell you because with school, I'm thinking like, I'm gonna have to sit here and study the market in the afternoon. I don't see a whole lot of moves to make in the afternoon,
mm-mm.
And it's
It's
like,
more like setting up for the next day.
yes, that's the only thing I can see that's possibly happening. I don't see any moves I can take advantage of. Um, so yeah.
I agree. It's sticky in that afternoon. It's slower. Like it's just, they're like cleaning up shop. Sometimes you see it get some pushes, but I feel like you should already be in. You shouldn't be trying to like capture that push at the end of the day. It's just risky. If you find a way to finesse it, by all means, share. By all means. Everybody finds a way that works for them in this market. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll just, like I said, I'm just gonna look at it and see what I can figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you got? You got that close at 47.42?
47. Wait, what you talking?
The fair
47, the
value
fair
gap.
value gap.
Because I got a 47.46. Well, that's a daily. Child, I know what I'm looking at. Hold on. The week
47, 42. You're right.
forty-seven
That's fine.
forty-two. Okay. All right.
And that's back to the weekly fair value gap open. This is why we leave lines because when it's coming down, that's why it bounced. And then as you can see, that exact line of support should now hopefully become resistance if we want things to stay down. If it doesn't become resistance, then we go back up. So if you were already shorting, say you decide to short somewhere down here or in whatever, I would reverse if it breaks past this actually. So stop losses can be tricky, but that would be my more modest one on the other side of the other side of the order block at 47.53. If you were going down, ask if you can hold, if you have the capital to hold it that long, I would just get the hell out of Dodge. And then come up. Almost there, Tandra. And then you have the Q, so you know it's going to make it because the wick is over the previous wicks. So it should make it. It should make it. Make it, make it, make it, make it. Now the close of the 15-minute is right here. Push. Now see this long run up? You could do long run down. We're going to see what you're going to do. Up, pop, goes the weasel.
Yeah, that silver bullet might send it back down though.
At 10 o'clock, you think?
Yeah,
We'll
between 10 and
see.
11. We'll see what the silver bullet does.
That's the nickname for it, Jasenia Nada. The video is Nada. Nada is playing seesaw with the quick up and down.
It was a typo.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, y'all know I have nicknames, so yeah. So up and down we go. Just waiting. Still 10 o'clock. This is a nice cradle though. So it could. It's a question of are you gonna be a fail cradle, but I don't know. It looks pretty strong. Always looks like it till it doesn't, right? And that's what it so far looks like on the daily. Mm. You have your take profit order, Tandra, at 47.42.
Yes, ma'am. I actually moved it because I did like 11 handles or whatever, but I went ahead and moved it up since we're gonna test your 42, see if it hit
That's
it.
on the 2 hour. It better kiss it.
Yeah. So yeah, I moved it. Yep. So that's why I moved it up to 42.42. But it's stuttering right there right now.
It is. It always it's right there, and then it make you want to think, oh, you're not gonna get it.
It's not gonna do it.
Every time. Because it did that this morning, almost made me think it wasn't gonna go to 47.08. It started to like pulsate right before 8:30. It started to go back up and do this little stupid catty-watt W, then it failed right at 8:30. Like, really?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. So now my 5-minute candle done turn orange on me. Done turn red on me.
yeah. Test
The
the base.
frustration of it all.
Well, you do know it is up there. Let's see what it's gonna do. Let's just see. Because we know it can also, we don't want to rule out, oh, it can feel it. And oh, it could just want to leave a bunch of wicks in there and come back later. The risk you take trading. But this cane was coming back. The turnaround was so strong that I felt like it would do it. But God, please don't. How much? How high did it go? $1 away. Oh my God. $1. Sandra,
I know.
$1.
$1 holla. Yep, and it looks like it's turning around too.
It is
Get.
$1. So the skill that I'm still like finessing and through all of this, and it's really a finesse, is the see try how am I trying to word it? I'm trying to think for a second because that the level, the patience to allow when you know things are like at that decision moment to give enough patience to confirm, because it gets to me sometimes too, because like, nah, that looks like it's doing it now, and then I pressed the button too early, um and it's like, nope, wasn't ready yet. So, I'll get out with a small loss. And I think that's the biggest thing, just knowing to get out with a small loss. But if you do it too much back and forth and never find some conviction, then you're just going to end up with all losses. So that's what I said, it becomes like a learning skill of like sit, wait, watch, know based on where you're at. Like, when do I really want to start going up, down, scanning between 2 hour and 15 minute, which is always, it's it just takes
So
a
here's
skill,
my issue.
Tandra. It's hard.
My conviction of jumping in, I tend to not get in at the bottom. I kind of end up getting in the middle. So I'm always
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, and that's my problem. I gotta trust that when I see it at that bottom to take it, and that's that
Mhm.
part. So I tend to just, I gotta, okay, let me wait 15 minutes to see what happens in. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
it makes the daggone move in the 15 minutes, all the time that I'm sitting there waiting for it to do something. So yeah. So that's the part that I gotta work on, is finessing
So if you're
that.
gonna trace something like this to so like when you see something coming to the fair value gap, you gotta get in as soon as you start seeing coming to it,
Yes,
because then you
yes,
don't know how, if it's gonna 100% go through it. Like, there's a chance, but at least you can watch it and still come out with profit because you got in low enough.
right.
And I aggressively take these like
Yes,
at
yes.
the like when it was coming up
When as
right
soon
here,
as
I
it
would have
turned
took it.
around. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
what I
would.
was doing this morning, I could tell you, I was looking at I was wanting to get those bodies to line up on that 15. And that's what I was waiting for. I'm like, I need this body to line up and that is going to hold it up. And that's what took me so long to get in. I saw the
Okay.
move, but again, I'm using the wrong time frame. I need to be
Well,
looking at it.
between the 15 minute two or so, like once you got to the 15 minute, I wouldn't have got in until this candle. It would have been 47.22, because
I
this
think
would,
I
for
did.
me, all of this would have
This is
had
my.
to
I'm
form.
sorry. That's my second trade. I did get it at 47.21. Actually,
Okay, then perfect.
I did, but then I got out. so if I
Okay.
was still, so if I was still at 47.21, so this is my second trade today, because I'm working on
Well, see, your first instinct is
that
right.
first thing was right. The first instinct was right. If I just had held it, yeah, yeah. The first
Cause yeah,
instinct was
that
definitely
this
right.
you follow the plan perfectly. You got in, you saw it trying to break out, and it's better to get in here because it's like you're in the middle of the breakout. So
Right.
therefore, if it comes down, you're like, okay, well, no big deal. I didn't lose much because I wasn't sure if it was gonna break out anyway. But then if you did catch it, you're like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
at the breakout, and you're
Yeah.
good. And then
Yeah.
this
So
whole little dance is doing right now. If you're
right.
like, I just want to take profit, you could have just took
Right.
profit.
Right. So technically, so that tells me that I did do it right. Because again, my first I got in, like I said, I was at 47.20, but it's like, what is it doing? Get out. And that's the
Just
thing, it's just, and then holding on to that conviction that it's going to do what it needs to do.
mm-hmm. We're coming back up.
Yeah, it is.
So ish, we'll see the 3 minutes kind of this time frame don't look
Girl,
at. Don't look at
this,
3 minute. But
yeah,
the
this part right
15
here.
minute and the 2 hours. Like, well, it wicked up there, it's not there yet, but the 15 minute doesn't say turn around. So you hold. It can be, yeah, you just practice, 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 practice.
Yep, that's it. The practice, and then now I got to figure out how to multiply this thing so I can make a living off of it. But I see now,
That's
even
additional
to get to
practice.
that point, there's going to have to be some option trading in here as well. So I'm
Yes.
going to have to do options along with it until I can get the account built up big enough to do ES trades.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Here we go. Think you're gonna get hit now. 15 minutes in. Let's see. Sometimes it can really stall on us, y'all, like really creep to 10 o'clock. It's just like makes you feel this whole 15-minute candle, like for real. And all you needed to do was wick it. It can turn around all it wants to if
That's
it
it.
wants
Yeah, I
to.
just wanted to wick it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Long enough to
testing.
feel the order.
Yeah, just wick it. Just wick through it. That's all.
13 minutes left, and then the next 2-hour candle will start, and we'll see how it wants to play here. We got a strong turnaround from the bottom. We have this order block right here. We have more liquidity because this could definitely be come back for. I mean, this is right in the middle of the fair value gap. So let's see
So I
what
have a
today got for
question.
us. Go ahead.
Uh, so Tandra is looking to have it wick into the weekly fair value gap.
So this was an old, let me explain this one more time. So that from the weekly, this is the open. You see where it's saying weekly open because I'm acknowledging this weekly fair value gap.
Yes.
Okay. So now it was support until like yesterday.
Mhm.
Okay. So we broke through that support and I left the line because it aligns with the close of the 2-hour fair value gap to the upside on its own. Look at, like, I didn't move the line.
Mhm.
So now you can use it as resistance. So yes, your answer was right, but I just didn't want to confuse anybody with the wording that I put there or where I got it from.
Okay, got you. And so when it wicks into the weekly fair value gap, that's where it is. I'm trying to read this on my thing. Because I'm looking at yours, you have the week open.
Yeah, but you got to remember it's green. So I'm signifying a weekly fair value gap open to the bottom. We're not going into a fair value gap at the moment. We're coming out of it because this is dependent. We fell and wicked all the way down into this weekly fair value gap. Now we're pulling out of it.
Yes.
Okay, so as we come back up to the line, we're trying to figure out, is this gonna serve as resistance now? And because that level aligns with not weekly, this is considered this fair value gap, this red one. Let me mark it. I don't like putting too many lines on top of each other. Let me do this. Let me move some stuff around.
That one's a 2-hour
This one is the one that she's going for is considered a 2-hour one. And if I make these lines red, I think that will help. Let me take the label off of this because things moved. So these labels don't matter anymore. They just became voided out yesterday. There we go. Okay. And then I'll put it on the other side. Like if I were to zoom this and really capture.
See, Randy, this is where I give up. It's like I quit. Look at the foolishness of it.
Just
So,
relax.
but this just tells me that this is probably going to be a resistance part to it.
Yes, agreed.
It is resisting this.
So, okay, wait, did I make it right? Okay, boom. Okay, all right. 2-hour fair value gap. So the way I label, so as you guys are reading my chart and trying to figure out what the heezy is Randy doing. All right. When I'm labeling them, I try to do everything that's going to the upside as red the best I can when I'm moving. When things are moving, I move fast with it, right? But so the way I'm looking at an open and a close to a fair value gap for this is the Tandra trade. Tandra is entering the best she could either at or before this open of the fair value gap, this 2-hour one, because it only see it on a 2-hour time frame. And the
I actually got in at
is up here.
47.29. I got in at 47.29.
Okay, perfect. So she got in below. Great.
Okay.
So she's trying to fill this fair value gap. Technically, the fair value gap on the 2-hour perspective fills at 47.43. But because we know this was just weekly support, it's safer for her to take profit at 47.42.
Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
For that wicking purposes, missing it by a little bit, that BS.
Mhm.
Like, it's
Yeah.
just safer to leave that dollar on the table because you know that was once weekly. So that's why it's saying that. So we're not entering a weekly fair value gap. In this case, we're entering a 2-hour fair value gap, and she's doing a 2-hour scalp.
Okay. But taking it by the 4742, which is the weekly.
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
No problem. Really hope that made sense. Everybody. There's lines all over the place. But yeah, I try not to because I have the fair value gap indicator on here. I try to mark like some of the larger ones. I try not to overdo it, like these are, like the daily fair value gap close. I marked that one, but I didn't mark all these 2-hour ones in between because there's a gap, and then you're just lines to lines to lines to lines to lines, and then you're like, wait, what did I do? So try to keep the big stuff daily, weekly for sure. And then if there's a line on my chart that doesn't have a label, it's because it's new and I'm moving in the moment. Okay. Moving in the moment. Now, if we wick above here, we could close out this candle to the 47.46. Just letting you know that. And
Yeah, I have the 47.46 marked on mine because it was a daily to open up a
mhm.
daily fair value gap.
And then this 2-hour tweezer top could essentially be closing off this order block. It could stop right at this 47.53 because I put that there too. I don't think that should be a purple line. That's not a gap, is it? No, it's not. Let me get my colors right for this demonstration today.
Yeah, and this part right here, this is the excruciating part. So it's like,
It's almost 10 o'clock. You're going to get your pop at 10 and it's going to fail.
oh, you think it's gonna happen at 10?
Yeah.
Yes, you're sitting there. Thank you for rooting for me, girl.
Yeah.
It's this frustrating part, because I just needed to do it, man. Just
Patience, space.
and
And it may
it
do
just
it and
kind of have those
exceed it.
moments. Yeah, sometimes it has those moments that it just does it, and then um you can just move on when you. So I guess it's telling me, girl, you need to work on your patience with this.
Yeah, because it's only been 10 minutes.
Girl,
Shit.
all the 10 minutes. But I'm patting myself on the back. This is your second trade. You jumped out the first one too soon. You jump right back in again.
Good job. We're going to fix the mistakes. There you
That's
go.
right. You got right back in it again.
Yeah, we
So
have go ahead.
my question is, when it pops and it goes up and Tandra takes her money, we are gonna, I'm gonna call that in. Tandra takes her money. You're expecting that to do a reversal and go
I
back down.
wanted to, but it may
No.
not. So I
Okay.
can
It may
see,
not. The
I can
likely chance it might though.
It might, because this is such a strong like run up candle. It could just do another rundown candle and equalize it out. Um, if this order block holds. So the
Okay.
question, moment of truth, Tandra takes her money. Yeah, we all know Tandra gonna take her money. Boom, we got that. Tandra, you making money today. Then we're all going to wait and see, does it want this order block or is it gonna reverse?
Okay. And where would the reversal
Gonna
we should
happen in
say,
between here.
in
That's the
between
thing
here?
about it. And I cannot tell you if it's gonna do a long wick up here, and then the tweezer top is gonna be here, or is it gonna do a little M, or I can't predict that how it's
Yeah.
gonna turn around, right? But this is the area you're looking at for your signal.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that to make sure I was reading that right, because I'm really trying to get this and I think I'm getting it. So that's good. And Tanza said to back test 4747.
Yep,
Oh, do
that's
I
what she's
need to
got.
move it?
That's the
Do I need to move
47.46.
this?
That's what she's at. So that's what
Should I
she's
move
talking
my
about. Because I
thing
said
up?
if we wick past here, we'll close this out. That's the bottom order block. I said 47.46, so we're right in line. And if I bring it up, actually, if I look, it's not perfectly on that line. So let's make it perfect. And me and Tans are probably right on par. Like we always are. My sis from the West Coast. High five on the West Coast, Tans. Yay. Getting the levels.
Oh, this push down is killing me.
Tandra, I'm gonna need you to put a blindfold on and just wait for the ding. You got this, girl. We're good. It'll pop up there. Just wait. It may like shoot through it. Like I'm telling you. You can be all doing all this worrying for nothing.
So should I move my take order up then to 47?
Me personally,
Do what you feel is comfortable, Tandra.
there you go, Jasenia. 47.42 is a safe first
Okay.
take profit target. The 47.47, you may have to go through more of what you're going through right now.
Okay.
It just depends. So if you just want to feel like, okay, I accomplished something for it, they stay right where you at. Just stay where you at. Because it can really bounce here and do some just to play with you. Just always take first profit. Always take the first one. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's why you should have the runner thing and all that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's turning around on me, T. It's coming back down at me.
It's not really turning around. What about this is turning around? We haven't broken the trend line.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's less than what it was, so that's turning around.
Oh my God. Okay, and this is a great segue. Next week, you guys, we'll be having a Learn Trading Psychology series that I'm starting to start every other Tuesday night. You do have to be a subscriber of the Traders Crib to participate in these, but it is for this very reason that Tandra's going through right now. So we can work on our trading psychology through different topics that matter. These topics will not just be like us just being like, oh, I just need a glass of wine tonight. That's not what they're about to be.
Yeah, I don't like my 15-minute candle though.
Okay, hold on, give me a second. We're going to let me get this out, Sandra. You're fine. So there's so we're gonna talk about things like the for instance, so this next one we'll kind of get into like trading personality styles. So really help us identify like who we are as traders and what trading style we should probably focus on based on our personalities and our quirks. And then I'll do something for taxes, because as you're trading, you should have in the mindset of, what you want to do, how you want to file, how you want to conserve your losses, how you want to harvest losses, all these different terms that fall in line with trading, specifically in terms of taxes, wash sales, all of that, right? So we'll talk about that. That's, again, a part of the psychology, because the more you understand, the less your fear when you come to this market, right? So we'll talk about things like that. We'll talk about how we quit our jobs for those of us who took that leap of faith and journey, because I remember I've spoken about it. I remember a few others have spoken about their story of quitting, going back to work, figuring out that was a mistake, quitting again. So we'll do things like that. Life challenges that we're going to face on this trading journey. That's what the Learn Trading Psychology series is about, because it's those stories as we share these challenges, the kids, how we want to invest in our kids, how we want to, what type of accounts are best for our kids based on our goals, right? Here you go, Tandra. For minute, I ain't like my 15-minute candle. And take profit order in 3, 2, come on, Tandra. Boom, take profit. Done. Thank you. Round of applause. Yay. Tandra made her money.
It made it, and then takes off.
I told you it may do that.
Yeah. Thank you. No, but that's how it works. There's something about this 10 o'clock time too, because you said it before. You're not already by 10 o'clock. Yeah. So 2 trades this morning. I was positive in both. I should have held the other one a little bit longer, but I got back in again after I jumped out. And I may do it again. I figured I'm gonna try to do 2 to 3.
So now next target 47, Tan's target. All right. So do you trust yourself now for the next $5, Tandra? Can you get the next $5 without freaking out?
Girl,
Don't let me pressure you. Don't
where?
listen to me.
Go where? Oh, are we testing me today? Fine.
Yeah,
No,
why
you know.
not? I'm just kidding. I'm testing everybody. I hope everybody was able to at least use your example for some confidence today. I hope. I really hope. But that was perfect, Tandra. You did it. Easy
I
peasy.
did it. I made more money than I originally was setting it for, so that's good.
And what helped me last night when I took the trade, and I got up and I saw profit, I said, you know, it's $200. I'm just gonna take the profit. And I love what Tanza said in the chat. She said, I would be conservative, Tandra, and then she said, take profit when you see the profit you want. And that's what has really helped me stay on track is sometimes I do take the lower profit only because I'm still at the point where you get the bubble guts. You get your stomach starts to turn. But once I'm getting better at it. So I notice that I'm reading it better, my charts are better, and I'm taking the profit. Even if it's a little profit, some profit is better than no profit.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that helps.
Yep. It just slowly inches you where you
So
need to go.
Yesenia, on these the $200 trade that you take, is this one contract or how many contracts are you?
I gotta go back. Let me see. It should be. Let me look in there. I just hit because I was in Sims. I just hit buy, and then when I saw it, I hit sold. I don't know how many contracts I had. Let me look and see if it has it in the Telegram. I don't know if it has it.
Look at this thing running. Where is it going to now? Where next?
I just need clearing the order block. The next, all the way up here is where kids and chaperones are left. We'll have to blast all the way up through another $40 to the upside if it wants to do that. I don't know. Y'all think it has the steam to do that?
I guess because it's just been down so much, sometimes it just likes to run, and just don't know how much it's going to run.
Well, yeah. I mean, from the daily perspective, I don't that little one. It's possible we can come back up here. Just see how much of a rally we want today at the end of the week. We're gonna drop all week, just run up on Friday. I mean, sure.
Just curious to see what the silver bullet's going to do.
At
Because
what,
of all
like
the
10?
movement
Well, I
that
feel
it
like
a
that
lot of
was
yeah, because it's interesting how yesterday it was meh, but today was a lot of movement based on what the numbers were, So that I wonder if that's what kind of triggers the silver bullet move. Because yesterday there really wasn't much of a movement with the silver. Price was so slow yesterday.
yeah, price didn't do anything but build up for the rundown overnight.
Yeah.
Just
So
pop back up in the morning. So I think we can it'll probably take us going to the high. Let's see. Here and then it's gonna close the order block. Close the order block. And then from
Randy, are
there.
you in anything at all?
I got SPY in both directions and Apple in both
Okay.
directions.
Okay.
Managing, hedging stuff.
Is Apple still dropping? Is it changing today?
It is
Moving
slightly
on up?
changing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm in both sides on everything. I was trying to hedge what I had with puts, So
Well,
Hmm?
we had 2023 was a trying year for me. Oh Lord, just a trying year. Major some went back to work because of the financial hits.
Mhm.
Didn't give me a chance to keep on practicing more than as much as I want to. But we've kind of, I guess, rebalanced ourselves. We're getting to a point that we're rebalancing ourselves at this point. But my husband's truck died, so we got to go buy another truck. So I had a wreck and had to buy me a car. Now his truck is dying, which we knew it was going to die, but it died real quick. I mean, quicker than we wanted it to. So we'll be out looking for a truck. Like
Mm.
nobody has time for this. So anyway, but when he retires here, his sick leave can pay it off for him. So anyway, but we're gonna move forward to try to get this house built. So that's our goal this year.
Yay. All right. Well, at this point, you guys, the run up 10 o'clock, I'm gonna wait until it's just a waiting game again now. To see, like I said, we're waiting to see if we're gonna turn here or give us something because these long wicks, we could like ride them back up. But let's just see how we want to do. And once we get past this level, it could be really sticky because the way I'm looking at this rejection width from the bottom that's not finished. I see all the stuff at the top. I see like the parabola complete. So how I'm looking at this area is just trying to see how we want to trade this next zone. I'm not really pushing too far up or too far down. I'm kind of looking for, because to me it looks like it's setting up a tight trading range, to be honest with you, which I can't stand. But hey, that's price. But it's all a matter of where it closes today, and just nothing to say. It's only 10 o'clock. We have a whole day of trading left to see exactly where it's going to go. For anybody else, if you were riding it up to close it, like I said, you could come all the way up to the 47.61. But I said I wanted to wait because I want to see which way we really want to go. And I'm just practicing my patience more with that because I was jumping in and out on everything, and it was actually stressing me out.
But this candle was like, what in the world?
Mm-hmm. But remember, it's a 2-hour candle, so I got a lot of time to do a
This
lot more
candle is
stuff.
huge on my 5 minute and my 15
Yeah, the
minute.
15
It's still a
minute.
huge
Yep.
candle. Yeah.
It's gonna keep pushing. See all that worrying. I told you was worrying for nothing.
But nothing. Like my little son, my son was like, nothing. You were worried about nothing.
Oh man. Yep. Yep. Well, just with patience pays, y'all. If you guys caught this scalp up to the order block, that's amazing. Because that's what you want to do. Order blocks, then wait, then next signal, either going up or down, whatever it's gonna do. So
Maria, I hope your call is coming in good for you.
she was how high were you on this call though, Maria?
I was just coming out here to tell you the good news. Good news, everybody. Jesus saves, and I got out of my call.
Jesus saves.
Jesus saved me. So yeah, I got into my call yesterday. I'll give you guys the quick story. I got in my call yesterday when price was running up, and I was in profit, and I had a higher target. So I didn't take my profit, and then I just watched it crash all day. And I was like, it's gonna turn around, it's gonna turn around. And I only bought 5 days on it. Normally I like buy more time, but I only bought 5 days. So I was like, shoot, I can't stay in this thing for very long. And then this morning I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, it's continuing to dump. And I said, okay, well, it's a 50-50 chance. Either the news is going to send it up or send it down. And then I saw it tank more, but I remember that like some people say the first move is the false move on the news.
Mm-hmm.
And, like sometimes it's the second new move. So I was like, all right, the first move is down. So the second move could be up.
So then I averaged down. I bought a second call at a much cheaper price to bring down the price I purchased at. And then a little bit ago, I finally got to like break even, and I was like, come on, give me some profit. So I just took profit on my 2 calls for a total of, what did I do? $325. So now, mind you guys, I sat through, I tried not to look at my P&L because I was trying to like stick to some conviction, but I was down at like minus 800. And I was just like, no, just let it come back up. And then I said to myself, when you see profit again, maybe stay for a little while, but don't overstay your welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Even, and the market may very well continue on up. Also right now, Tandra, I'm thinking silver bullet, maybe. Nobody trade this based on my opinion, because obviously I'm the girl who was just down $800 a moment ago.
But you, but you didn't
I'm
realize
thinking
that.
silver
It's
bullet
gonna go-
might be up because
You think
I'm
it's
like,
gonna go up? Okay.
well, the only reason why I say that is because
Okay, because now it should
so on the
plummet down to go back up
5
again.
minute, on the 5 minute chart,
Mm-hmm.
the 10 o'clock 5 minute candle created a really long displacement upward,
Right.
and it created a beautiful fair value gap.
It
So
did. I see it. Yeah.
soon price should come back to revisit that fair value gap. Well, I see the top is like roughly 47.52, and then maybe ricochet further up. Nobody trade that based on my recommendation though, because sometimes I'm wrong. Because we have, of course, swept last night's highs all across the board, both in ES, NASDAQ, and Dow. So, but I don't know. So we could see a displacement down and the silver bullet's down, but I don't know.
Right. Because
Anyway.
I can see the displacement all the way up. I mean, because
yeah. I
displacement.
took my money. I took my money, so at least now I can feel better. You guys know how it is when your P&L is down and you like go to bed and you're like, like, I hope I'm right.
Yeah, they had to coach me too. I took a trade this morning, got in at a great place and jumped out. Then got back in again. And so that Randy had to just kind of coach me through this last little bit. Tandra, wait till 10 o'clock and it's going to be fine. I'm like, my 5 minute looks bad. The 15 minute is also horrible. The candle, I don't like it. So yeah. And it was fine. I made it through. And I even see that if I had moved up my take profit up to 47.46, I still would have been fine. Yeah. It went all the way up there. So yeah.
Yep. Read the chart.
So this is what I'm thinking if I was going to move my take profit up again, what I would have normally done, I'll tell you how I've been trading. Because I've actually been using the OCO bracket. And so what I've been doing is once I realize prices are going to continue to run beyond my target, I will move my take profit up, but I move my stop from the bottom up to block it just as it turns back around, so that I still get my money that I had. That was my goal money. I move my stop up to where my goal was, and what the original goal was. And then so if it makes it to the next take profit, to the actual take profit that I moved it to, then that's just extra gravy, that I get. So that's how that's what I've been normally doing when I realize that if price continues to run, I'll just keep moving my stop up to lock in that profit that and I like I said, I kind of keep me a little sticky note going this so I can see my number, what number I need to put that stop at to do that. So that's another way that I've been trading this MES. And I can and I have to announce that every trade that I've taken since November has been positive for MES.
Patience pays, you getting it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay. All right.
So
Now, what are we doing?
Brackets work. That's what y'all don't have to be like me and Tan. We don't really trade with stop losses. We have mental stop losses, but stop losses do work It's all about a trading personality style. So
Mhm.
once you figure that out, you'll be on your way. So this is what I was expecting, a stupid little wick pop apply, and you really want to come down because this order block is just
Yeah.
every time I look at the daily, I'm just like, nah, man. Like I just feel like you want to come down more. Like you may do, like I said earlier, you may do some, like remember Tandra was like, it ain't a real cup and handle. Now look at the daily. Look like a handle now.
Now it does.
Mhm.
I
Now
told you it's
Yeah,
still
I'm like,
making it.
handle, that's a Wally Walk little handle right there. But that now it looks like a handle because so that's the confirmation that it's gonna probably keep on going down.
Well, that's what I
But
said.
it
You
has
gotta
to run
give
up
it.
to give it that handle.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
gotta give it the time to make the handle, and it's gonna
Yeah.
do some stuff, and you
Right.
could trade in it, but you just gotta know
Know when to get out.
know when to get out, and you could do that best using the 2 hour and the 15 minute. So,
Yeah.
but overall, like I'm holding, longer term SPY puts because I just think we're gonna come down here. Because this is the order, this is the level. So it would have to fail here. So until I see the handle fail, which it could fail, and then we can have an up run or we can pull down further. But it's a decision time. So you just gotta trade carefully within it. That's all I'm saying. Patience pays. Yep. All right, what else are y'all talking about in the
Yeah,
chat?
that's a handle right there. Now it's making a handle. Those are handles. Yeah. So you can see that now. So yeah, that's why I say.
But now you know, so now that you're seeing it on a larger time frame, like
Uh-huh.
you were saying earlier, you can come in here and do some SPY long term.
Mhm.
You can set yourself up. Okay, I'm gonna buy like 2 months out SPY put because I know I see the long term cup and handle, and then in the interim, I'm gonna come up here on the 2 hour and the 15 minute and do my little MES. That's your trading plan, and
Yeah.
be profitable all day with that.
Yep.
Like when you have the time, and you can be like, oh, I just want to have some fun today with y'all. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do what you just did this morning. And then you could be like, bye, y'all. I'm out with my students till next week.
When I'm in a trade, when I'm in class, I'm like, hang on just a second, let me go do this corner over
You
here.
do that in class? Look at you.
Because I don't learn how to trade from my phone. I don't learn how to trade from my phone now because that's what I got at school. Like, let me go on my phone. I surely do. So I've learned how to trade from my phone now. So, so that's why I literally can trade while I'm on the go.
Go ahead.
I feel you. Yeah, I feel you, Tandra. I did that thing last night in my bed because I'm trying to get the trading on my phone. And I did one just in a sim at work. I went into the freezer and then I realized I couldn't get out of the trade because I'm in the freezer. I had to find a place where it actually had the
When you get a
internet.
cell signal, yeah.
To
when
get
you
the
get your
cell signal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good thing to learn different methods, even though I truly prefer the computer because you can do so much more and you see so much more. But the phone is great in a pinch if you have to run out and do something.
Yep. But yeah, my husband and I've been having some conversation. I'm like, yeah, we need to get back to making trading my full-time job. So yes, I said I've been practicing and I kind of got a comfortable feel. I'm getting better. I can sense that I'm getting better with all the things. And then Bella is getting on my nerves. I can see that you ladies are also getting better. The information is there. So yeah. I said this second try I got it.
You got it. We all got this. Like, it's just becoming, everything about it becoming, it's becoming easier to say, like Maria earlier. Maria, you couldn't have sat through an $800 negative P&L last year. You would have closed that sucker out and you would have been really down $800. You weren't down, you were just holding until it came up. You haven't lost until you sold, right? So
That's right. It's true.
To show, because I've even sat through that. Like I've sat through like now -5. I've sat through -2,000, like, oh, it'll come back. Like, you will eventually get a level of patience and confidence in what you're doing. It eventually just comes. And then, you're just like, okay, well, I'll hedge in this position if I made a mistake because I was stressed this day, decided to trade. Like, you just start to learn who you are in the market, learn how to correct your mistakes as you're not going to stop making them. There's people who've been trading over 10 years and still will blow up $1 million because of a stressful event that took place. Like, that's inevitable. So don't walk through this journey thinking that I'm never gonna know. A 90% win rate means you fail 10% of the time. So it means you have 10% of losses. It's just you know how to recover them. You know how to like hold. You know how to like that means you still click the button wrong 10% of the time. You have just figured out how to hedge, how to what you got to do with your emotions. That's all it is. So we're in this together. We keep riding through. I love today's mental exercise with Tandra. It was great practice. It just shows what we all are doing, whether we have somebody here on the call with us or not. That's exactly what's happening. Like, and when the candle going down, and as soon as she said it, and I looked at it, and I was like, "But there's a minute left on the candle, Tandra. You're fine. Like, just chill." Like, you got to remember those things. Remember to look at the timer, or do these little things so you can remember in your head. Okay, well, if I only have yes, the candle looks small, but it's only a minute left on like less than a minute left. I have maybe like 10 seconds left. Do I have a confirmed reversal pattern? Do I have a 3 candle reversal? Not yet, especially on a 15 or 2 hour. Not yet. Breathe, breathe. And then you're going to learn how to, like Maria said earlier, I'm using all you guys examples, not overstay your welcome. Like, I just like the terms y'all using. And so,
Sorry.
you'll gauge that. There's times that I've held longer, didn't take profit at the first target thinking it could run. But as soon as I saw the reversal, I didn't overstay my welcome and I took what I got and just said, cool. So you'll figure it.
I'm
figure
the
it
Jim
out.
Carrey. My psych is the Jim Carrey. What is it, Dick and Jane? When he's like, when he's running around, he goes, "I'm indicted," because no, I'm indicted. So every time someone says, "I'm indicted," so that's what I'm like. No, it's falling. It's going to get me. That's what I'm doing. So I'm running around the house freaking out. So that's my psychology. I'm the Jim Carrey.
Yeah. I can totally relate to that, Tandra. Oh,
Perfect. No worries.
for anyone who's like watching the silver bullet, I just want to say don't trade my opinions because I can see like both cases on different time frames.
It's gonna go up. It's gonna go up.
Yeah, it looks like it's
It's
gonna go up.
That was my first.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
on the 5 minute, there's that giant 10 o'clock displacement candle, but then on like the 1 minute, there's a bit of a displacement candle down. So it's like, oh.
And then on the 15-minute, there's a wick left in between these two fair value gaps that let you know it's gonna come up. Boom. All that. So you can like it's most likely gonna come up. It could do like I've seen it in between, and sometimes I've gotten iffy, but it usually comes up. Especially it's so close. It's gonna take these out. It needs to come back up to this high. So 47.65. For anybody who wants another few handles, you could probably get it to go up there. And then come back, and then we'll see where if it wants to continue. 47.65. Let's see, where is that back up at? Is that? No, this needs to move. Let me see. It was a close, and then obviously let me put it back from a 2-hour perspective. 15-minute. So let's go and chart it. Let's
First
take
thing
this line and move it down to the top of the fair value gap.
And Q is stronger.
So that'll be the top of this candle wick. So that'll be 47.63. That's a solid $10 from now to 63. We can scout that. And then we can scout that to there. is going to continue. And again, that's really closing that order block because what I said, 47.60, this is that tweezer top on a 2-hour. 47.63 is the close of the 15-minute fair value gap, but it's going to land right in those wicks. And then that's just scalping it up and up and up. But again, I'm on the 2-hour. This is a 2-hour candle. So it can be pushing up. We know 2 hours can do a lot of stuff. I'm just saying. So you can definitely ride it up. I've done this. This is what we call level to level. As you see it doing it, and you see your fair value gaps, you just take them, take your $10 at a time. And then once we get here, though, if you recognize that's the close of the the U pattern type of thing, we're right at that level. So it'll be deciding here, are we going to continue? We have liquidity left. We can keep going, but it's choppy. So it's just, I just say, take it in levels, look for your signals, your wicks, your current turnaround patterns and things like that to let you know if it's really going to do it or not before running it up there. Because you might get a significant pullback. I mean, outside of that, y'all, it's like almost 10:30. I don't have much else to beat up the horse here. If there's any other tickers, we can definitely go fishing because we have the time. The call goes to 11 o'clock. But I know lately, depending on what we've talked about, and if we looked at the majority of the moves, 10:30 is usually when we're like ending things because the next biggest impulsive move is around 11 for the market. And I want you guys to all be prepared to take that move if you want to. So is there any other before we leave today? DXY is still going down, so you're saying that we're gonna still pump up, Maria. And if you guys have any other tickers that you guys want to look at, I know Kim be having some HD. We can recap any of those, but it's gonna be upon request because I don't want to keep you guys here longer than what you need to be. That's Friday. It's Friday. Friday. This NVIDIA chart looks just amazing. I ain't gonna lie. I keep looking at it, just like, why? It just looks beautiful. It's just a beautiful run up.
I was about to say it's running up, man. It needs to take, it's gonna take the rest of the market with it though. Well, everything is stalling right now though. Things are just kind of stalling at this point.
A little bit. That's crazy. We were down like 23 points on the ES this morning. Now be up almost the same amount.
Almost exact, yeah.
So
it was like
days like this. Gotta love days like this. Apple, I don't believe Apple's gonna make a big comeback either here. I'm not confident in it. Adobe, not a big comeback here either right now. The chart really did a significant pull down on most tickers. Some things are stagnant flags, like Nvidia. Nvidia is kind of just stagnant, and it's not really pushing down like that. Like the other charts have that descending type pattern. Nvidia is just trying to figure out when it can make all-time highs again. I really think that is just kind of stagnant and sideways. Taking a look at Lilly. I'll do a quick skim, but I ain't gonna go deep. Well, Lilly, popped up there yesterday, but still trying to really get a good momentum run climb there. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys, because you guys know I focus on Apple and SPY and ES the most. And everything else is just, if it looks real good, I'll take it, like real good. So, we have this gap on SPY. We'll close with SPY. I'm looking at the chat. I don't hear you guys say anything. I don't see any hands up. Put your hands up if you need to. But for SPY, we're pushing up. We fill this gap, which is what we needed to do. So this candle may hold up in bullish for today. That'll be the gap close. We could take the next gap next week and close the next one, which would be nice, or we could not. It's a question of the charts on what it wants to do, but not charting it up too much. You can just kind of look at it and kind of see the gaps there. And, we have the downward fair value gap while we have the gap to the upside. So we just need to see how it wants to chop around and kind of go from there. Maria, you said that the YM is pushing down a little bit.
YM is strongly pushing down into that fair value gap on its 10 o'clock candle. ES is kind of waffling, and NQ is trying to push up. So right now, it feels waffly.
It's Friday. I'm really not surprised looking at these charts of where it's at. So
Yeah, look at that.
you guys,
you can see the handle on that one. Yes, I can see it on that
on YM.
Yeah, YM, that handle over there. Yep.
I just think we want this down
Oh, this
so
wants to
bad.
come down. Oh, it can come down some more. I see.
It could definitely come down. Like, it's just like bounce, and then you left wicks in it, and then you're still kind of, you're not. Oh, we'll see what it wants to do, y'all. We will see. So it's right now, to me, this looks like it's using the handle for the cradle to come up, to be honest. It's just a pull back so it can continue up to take out all this right here from a smaller time frame. It's not going anywhere crazy, but from the smaller time frame, this is the YM. That's that same kind of move that we're waiting on ES to finish coming up right here. See? It's the pullback to come up. And then once we reach here, all this, then it's like, are you really trying to come up? All this is liquidity grab because ain't nothing but wicks up here. My question is, once you grab all this, do you stay up or not? So I'm just gonna wait until you tell me. That's where I'm at. All right, y'all. I can't see anything else until it happens. All righty. If y'all don't have anything else, thank you again for this Friday session. It will be on YouTube. Don't forget, for those who are subscribed, we will have Sunday school charting on Sunday. So I will see you all lovely faces on Sunday for my subscribers. Other than that, you guys trade safe for the rest of the day, and I will see you all later.